Hello and welcome to the Dutching channel. You can see in the corner there, well you mostly can't actually, but it's the 15th of April 2024, 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm trying to catch up from Saturday. I'm a bit rough and I don't really like being behind this far, but I don't have a choice. So I'm going to do the results from Aintree, Chelmsford, Chepstow, Newcastle, Wolverhampton and Yarmouth. I think this is what sets you. It's like trying to work out 6 meetings form, which can take 9 to 10 hours. And then it just puts you so far behind. I've got to look at doing something a bit easier or cutting the meetings down. And of course, just one race takes you an hour, and that's the Grand National. So let's get stuck into it anyway for now. And I can't really show you this sheet of mine because it includes Sunday on it. So I don't know whether I don't know whether to show you this bit or not really. You may as well anyway. Right, so on Saturday I kept on doing the value bets because they had worked good, really good the 2 previous days, but unfortunately there was so much racing that I ended up with a loss of nearly 3 points, or 146.93, which took us back a little bit because we had near enough got 1 point behind. So this has now taken us 4 points backwards, and that's really what it looked like. So we set out. Luckily, we got the last 3 winners, because if we hadn't got that, we'd have been in a bit of a state really. But you can see we didn't have no winners at Yarmouth. I know Yarmouth first meeting on the flat this season, but it could have been a lot worse. So to get that money back at the end there was gratefully received. And yeah, so that put us 4 points behind again. But to think maybe just a week before that we were 15.5 points behind. So we have managed to claw back quite a lot of the deficits. So let's just have a look at Saturday's racing. I can't really go too much into every race because I've already done Sundays. So we'll start with what we've got here anyway. We'll start at Aintree. First race, Gwenny Mayboy. If you can see here, I was just a couple of points out, but it was over the price I wanted. So I managed to grab that one first of Aintree. And then in the second race, Brighter Days Ahead, my top selection came in. But because we were doing the value bets, this was going to be a no bet for us because the price was too short. Then into the 230, Cruise Control had won that one. We wouldn't have had it anyway. So it would have been a bad day doing it on the normal system anyway. And then into the 305 at Aintree, Strong Leader. My bottom selection came in, but was no value. So that was another lose for us. And then into the Grand National, I didn't do well at all. So it was a case of backing quite a few horses. But if you again look down the bottom here, we only laid out £24.54 anyway. So we sort of it only cost us half a stake. And then we moved into the 5 o'clock, found a 50. Again, I've been unlucky on these places as well, because Master Chewy I thought was going to win it. He traded odds on going towards the line. And then found a 50, just came back. So I was very unlucky on Saturday, even though I backed in a lot of races. I had a lot of seconds. And here's another one for a prime example, is when at Chelmsford. 3 Yorkshiremen in the morning, I could have got the price that I was looking for. So this could have been a win, but we had the second and the third anyway. So again, we were unlucky there. But of course, unlucky doesn't pay the bills. And then the next race, Documenting. This was the outsider as well. For them, it was the outsider for us, but unfortunately, I made it 36. It went off at 27. So that was another loss. Then we moved into the midday, because that was a very early start there at 10 o'clock on Saturday at Chelmsford. And Placid come through and won this. And again, it was a 6, paid over 6 on Betfair. We had it at 9, so we weren't going to grab that, but we did have the second there, which was a huge price really at 54.90, and that was coming back at the end. So that was another unlucky one. Then into the 12:30, we had this, but we laid out quite a lot of money in the race. Nearly £70, so there was quite a few value bets to be had, but not a lot of profit. Then we went into the 105 Local Music. Again, it wasn't any value in it. We didn't have the second, and overall that was a race to move on from. Then in the 140 Zambezi Fix, this was another one. There was maybe, it was a good price at 8, but we had 13.90, so this was another defeat. When you're doing this system, you're not going to have as many winners as you are doing it the other way. But when you do get them, sometimes you're laying out a little bit less money than you normally would. And then we came into the 215 at Chepstow, Bells of Peterborough. This was a value bet, but if you can see at the bottom again there, this was too many value bets in the race, laying out too much money, but we still made a profit. And then into the 230, Rouleur Noir. This was 8.54. We had 11.91, so that was another race without a winner. But of course, we had the second. So you add all these seconds up and push them in, and you think, what a great day you could have had. Then into this race, the 332 Piper's Cross came through. This was another race where we had a value bet in Lady Balco that was clear and just faded in the fight after the final jump. It was leading, just faded. So that was another one we should have had. Then in the 440, Love of Namor. This wins at quite a big price, I suppose, 18.3. We have value on that, so we'd only laid out 32.48, so that was a nice profit. Then we moved into Newcastle, 12.55, Bolin Matilda. This was another value bet for us, so we pulls up on that one as well. But again, we've laid over the stake we want to lay, but it was a winner. Then in the 205, Choose the News. Goes off quite a short price favourite really for that race. I don't understand it, but again, we had the second, Pay the Piper. This traded 101 in running. This tells you how unlucky you are there as well. Then in the 430, we had 619, and that duly obliged. So there was no problem with that. And you can see how many races there are. And it's very easy to say, well, just cut down the meetings you're doing, just cut down that you're doing. But it would have been nice to have cut out Yarmouth, because we didn't have a winner. But how do you know that in advance? And this race here, the first one that we went to at Yarmouth, 340, Glen Calvi, it was a big enough price. At 10.50, we had 12.53, so we didn't have the second, so we didn't need to really worry about that race. Then the second one there, the 4.55, Mythical Guest, that comes through. We've You know, we got that at 24, returns at 8. We didn't get the second, we didn't get the third. We've already felt like you've got a bad day coming up. Then Q8 City wins the 5:30. There's no value bets at all in that race, hardly. Then in the 6 o'clock Magnificent Match, this wins at 15.6. We've got 25.91. We don't get no second. So we're really losing here in a bad way. Then at 6:30, Mr. Lojito. This comes through. You fancy it because it's your second selection, but there wasn't many I had that won being tops and seconds. Then in the 7 o'clock Twilight Fun, this was another one in double figures at 13. We had 18.57. And yet again, we couldn't find the second here. Then into the 7:30 Rhythmic Acclaim one. And we still didn't have the second here. This was a bad meeting. And then we moved on to Wolverhampton. First race there, Tenyatta. And Tenyatta, we didn't have this, but we did have a Gallant running on the second in Alex Christian. It was a big price, which we did think was going to get up at one point. Then into the 6:40 Global Tycoon. This was another defeat for us here. Didn't have the second either. Then into the 7:10 Ziggy's Dream got us out of a hole. This was the comeback in the last 3 races. So we had that one. Won well as well. You know, that didn't win like a big price winner. And then in the 7:40, we were lucky here, I suppose, in the way. Go Uvari won easy enough. But it was one of the best bets of the day. And even though it was quite short at 2.73, we had 2.41. And we had the first 2 home there anyway. So we're never in doubt. And then the last race, we had Moon Over the Sea as our top selection. And it got left at the start, took a wide course, didn't really feature even though it ran on to be second. But the outsider of the party, 10-10-20, this was 37.7. This just came and went away. So I didn't expect that to be happening in that final race. So that was a bonus. So even though we lost, I think it was £124 something, we still was very, very unlucky on Saturday. So it was a case of, you know, keep going and keep going. But the Grand National was very disappointing. I didn't even get close on that. So we'll need to review a few things. Because I don't just want to keep pumping my money into the same system every day if it's on some kind of downward spiral. But there's no reason why it should be, because we go back to March, couldn't put a foot wrong. I just couldn't put a foot wrong. We do the same system again in April and struggle through it. I mean, people are saying to me, oh, don't do this value bet one, go back to the original. But it's just something there that's telling me it's just not firing at the moment. But it doesn't make any sense because you're doing exactly the same numbers. And of course, this is why there's bookmakers. You know, they're not there for your benefit and like for your system and just pay you out every day on what you pick. That's why it's difficult. That's why they're there. You can't get the same every day. You know, there's people telling me, oh, I don't know why you don't do this, don't know why you don't do that. I had about 3 or 4 people say to me, don't do this value one, just do the normal one and stick to it. So, as this is Saturday's video, but it's 2 days behind, on Sunday I just went with it. And I said, all right, we'll just do the top selection, and then you'll have to look in that video to see how we got on. But you could tell when I showed you. Anyway, it wasn't great. So that's Saturday's. Just I'm not disappointed at all because we've got back, in just a short period of time, 10 points. So I'm just not that. I just don't think I'm feeling that great because of the hours. I mean, I'm up early this morning. I'm not, because it's 5 o'clock doing the video. I've been up since I think it's about 3:30 because I had to get Kelso done for this morning. This is like on the Monday. But there's got to be a way I can cut down what I'm doing. If you know any ideas there, then just send the comments across. But it's not that I want to leave any meetings out. It's physically draining because I've got quite a few people subscribed, and they're in this, along with me, and we're there to make a profit. So I have to do all their sheets, and it's not that I don't want to do it. There just isn't enough hours in the day to get it all done, and cutting a couple of meetings out. I cut the Irish out at one point because I thought to myself, one day I was doing 8 or 9 meetings. You just can physically not do it. So I've got to try and work something out where we do less racing, but still profitable. But when you looked at the results there, and you think Yarmouth didn't have anything, Aintree only had one. Afterwards, it's easy to say, well, you could have left out Aintree and Yarmouth, but it isn't as easy as that. So yes, I've got a long day today because I still need to do the racing for Tuesday. That's still got to be done today, but hopefully we'll get back to normal because there's only 3 meetings tomorrow. But because I'm so far behind doing these videos, I need to get all these done, and life has to go on. So let's hope we can get some more winners and more points together and try and get in front this month. All right, we're not quite far, but we're halfway today now on the 15th. And we're a little bit down. It's not that side of it I'm worried about, because I know I will push this on and get there. But it's just cutting the amount of meetings down. But anyway, thanks for watching. You don't need to hear all my rubbish. So I'll be back with the video from yesterday, but I can't put the selections up because they've obviously gone. It's too late. It's not worth it. But I will put the selections up for Monday. So keep watching. They will come very soon. We'll catch up with the results show tonight. I think I should be up to date for that, even though I keep saying every day. Right. Have a nice punting day.